Two of the NBA's top coaches square off tonight as Eric Spoelstra and the Heat travel to Dallas to take on Jason Kidd and the Mavericks. I'll tell you how to bet this game right now. Good Thursday, everybody, and welcome to the Jungle. We'll talk about everything you need to know to bet the Mavericks and the Heat. First, let's recap yesterday. We recapped Jungle Premium Plays and everything we bet from YouTube, a whole collaboration of recap. We were 6-1. We were up 5 units. Our hits were Christian Brown over points plus rebounds. That was a Jungle Premium Play. We hit on Isaiah Collier over 8.5 assists from YouTube. We hit on the Atlanta Hawks plus 8.5 YouTube play. We hit on a Jungle Premium Play, Karis LeVert over his points. We hit on a Jungle Premium Play, Stephon Castle over his points, and we hit on our YouTube play of Jason Tatum over 26.5 points. Our only loss was the Memphis Grizzlies. So 6-1, we're up 5 units for the year now, year being 2025. We're up 13.4 units. Now, this is the day before the All-Star break. It's a small slate, and it's easy for teams to kind of mail it in and coast into the break. A lot of teams do. There are 2 games, in my opinion, that have some meaning to these teams that you can take a shot on here, and they have value betting. The first one is Golden State and Houston. I'm going to leave that one alone. I don't have a strong feeling, nor can I find a strong edge in regard to the spread. It's a 6-point spread. It's kind of big, makes you think. Houston's been great. Houston's great, but they've been on a really cold stretch, and Fred VanVleet's still going to be out for this game. So that's kind of a fishy spread there, and I don't like any props in that game either. And there's this game, Miami and Dallas. Both teams are, dealing with some personnel stuff that had just come to a head. And both teams are sitting at 8th in their conference, just a little bit out of a playoff spot, sitting in and holding on to a play-in spot at the moment. And both teams could use a little bit of juju, good juju, going into the All-Star break. Dallas is catching 1.5 points here. Over-under set at 221.5. As I mentioned, Miami's 8th in the East. They've won 4 of their last 10. Dallas is 8th in the West. They've won 5 of their last 10. Both teams are on a back-to-back here, but the advantage in that goes to Oklahoma City because they get to stay home. Miami's traveling in. The advantage goes to Dallas because Miami's traveling in from Oklahoma City. This is Miami's 6th road game in 7 games since February 1st. 6 of their last 7 have been road games. That's a brutal stretch, and they've lost their last 3, and they're starting to show signs of fatigue. Additionally, there's a team illness going around. Terry Rozier and Duncan Robinson are both sick. Game time decisions, but sickness normally means they're not going to play. If they do, they certainly won't be 100%. And lately, Miami's offense has been anything but hot. They failed to score 107 points in 6 of their last 7 games, and they've been held in the 80s twice last week in terms of points. But they're good defensively. 9th in defensive ranking. Aided by a slow pace, they allow the 3rd fewest shots to opponents in the association. Because of that, I'm cold on a lot of points being scored today. I'd go under the total of 221.5. Max Christie is someone that the Dallas Mavericks were going to have to make room for. There's a reason that they wanted him from the Lakers. They have to make minutes for him somewhere. I don't know where they're going to come from when everyone's healthy, but the injuries have made this a little bit easier. He's had at least 15 points in every game so far in a Dallas Mavericks uniform, and we saw a glimpse of what his usage will look like with these injuries yesterday when he shot 15 times. I'm very warm today on Max Christie to go over his line of 14.5 points. Even with their injuries, Dallas has a huge offensive advantage in this game with Kyrie, Clay, Max Christie, and Marshall coming off the bench. They're facing an ice-cold offense, dealing with a team-wide sickness at the end of a massive road trip the day before an All-Star break. I'm very surprised that Miami's favored in this game. I'm red hot on the Dallas Mavericks money line, and you should be too. Let me know in the comment section what you think of these plays, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.